Cena has shown he has no problem passing the torch. But when you have him do a job to a guy that isn't even any longer on the roster, let the freaking guy go out on top. Give me a break.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here with Vince Russo for yet another episode of Riding with Russo.
Let's get this show off on the right foot.
Let's do it. Got a special message.
Hold on. Let's get this off on the right foot.
Absolutely.
This is what we envisioned in January, okay? Yes, sir. It's happening here in September. One birthday.
Let's get
Thank
it.
you, Shaq.
Come on, that's our rally cry. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Thank you, Shaq. Thank you, Shaq. I appreciate it. September. I pop every time he says that. September. John Cena's final match has been announced for December 13th. Following the AJ Styles match, Vince Russo, how would you book John Cena for the final 2 months of his run, man?
Oh, bro, they got to go round robin with they got to let that last match be one last crack against Brock Lesnar. They have to. I mean, if they don't, I'll never understand why they did what they did, unless, you know, it's pettiness and trying to, I don't know, punish Cena for going to Vince's birthday party, whatever, who knows. Yeah. But if that last match is not Lesnar and he doesn't go over, I don't even know what to say. The one between AJ and Lesnar, there would be one between that, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 months left. So there's Survivor Series left. He's booked for. Of course, Perth is he's going to be competing there. I see. My thing is, do you have Cena go out on top? Is that what you do? There's some rumors of him going against Dom, which, bro,
it's okay if he doesn't go out on top, but not after the way he lost to Lesnar.
I think that's where you do Survivor Series. Yeah, I think you do Survivor Series with him and Brock, because I think Survivor Series is still a big four. You still got to make it a marquee. It's still a big fight. It's still a big pay-per-view, big name pay-per-view. It's the second longest pay-per-view of the entire, Big Four series behind WrestleMania. So I think you got to do something big with that. I think you do the Cena Brock rematch there, and then you have Brock then you have Cena put somebody over on the way out. I mean, that's what I think. Do you have Cena? Do you think that Triple H will have John Cena win his last match or not?
Bro, the right thing to do is let him go out on top. You don't need Cena passing any torch. Cena passed the torch to a guy that's not even on the roster anymore.
Yeah,
Austin Theory. I mean, so Cena has shown he has no problem passing the torch. But when you have him do a job to a guy that isn't even any longer on the roster, let the freaking guy go out on top. Give me a break.
I think if you would have done a storyline, which in retrospect,
do a what?
Yeah, exactly.
A what?
Exactly.
What is that, Chris? What is that? Explain that. I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's some arbitrary concept that I just heard a few weeks ago that I thought was relevant to talk about right now. But when you have John Cena, if there was a storyline with John Cena and it was interwoven throughout the year, then I think you put somebody over, John Cena. I think that would have made sense. But these popcorn matches, nah, man, I don't think it makes sense. Put a story behind it, but I think it's too late to put a story behind it.
It's too late. It's too late, Chris. That's why it's got to be I think Adam Copeland just finished up with AEW. It's got to be something like that. It's got to be a blast from the past. Mm-hmm. It's way too late for any kind of stories. So it's got to be something that's from his his past. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah, you think so? I mean, it wouldn't make sense. This whole year it's just been a disaster. Just overall,
bro.
man.
It's been a disaster. and again, bro, that had so much to do. I'm telling you, man, a lot went sour with Rock. A lot went sour with Rock and people not being on the same page.
Yep.
And Cena got caught right smack in the middle of that. And since that happened, they have not been able to recover from that.
Yeah, man, and that was in April. I mean, that was 6 months ago. So, I think with the Cena thing, yes, I mean that's the thing, man. You got to pivot, and you know this. If someone's injured, if there's some type of dispute it doesn't work out, dude, you had 6 months to pivot from the Rock thing. Yep. I call BS on this whole, well, we didn't have enough time to adjust. Man, you've had 6 months to adjust from something that wasn't that was planned. It fell through, and you're coming to tell me that 6 months isn't enough time to readjust and make an audible from this? Nah, man, that doesn't work for me, brother. Shout out to Hulk Hogan. But yeah, I don't think that the creative, and we've talked about this before, Vince. There's so many, so much content, so many programs, all that stuff that they really don't have time to really sit down and put a story in the oven, man. Everything's just microwave. You don't have any oven stories anymore, man. And it's like you're going to Thanksgiving with a bunch of daggone TV dinners at this point. That's how it feels. And you're putting a bunch of TV dinners at the table and say, hey, here you go. Here's your feast. And guess what? The marks say I had a great Thanksgiving. This is amazing. But the people who really appreciate it for what it is, they're going to say, man, this feels so superficial and artificial. And I think with the Cena thing, man, it's unfortunate how this happened. I think Brock makes sense. If Edge is gone in October, I think he makes sense. Here's a question: do you run Cody back at the very last match for the title? He gets one. John Cena gets one more shot at the title, and he loses to Cody. Is that a way to?
I don't think you can do that because, Chris, how do you give a guy one last shot at the title when he says it's my last match?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it makes sense, but you know how fans are so gullible to this, because there's even discussions of, well, maybe he can extend it to WrestleMania. And the thing is, you play that psychology. If it's so easy for those fans to eat from the table and whatever you gave them, I said before, that dog reel on on Facebook where you just put a plate and you just feed them whatever's on the plate. And I think because of the fans always having that well, maybe there's a chance, like they that's the mentality that always comes with that, with that wrestling mentality. They're going to think that, oh, well, maybe if he cuts a promo and says, okay, well, I may change my mind and extend, my time if I win the world championship. That's the only thing the fans need nowadays to buy into a feud, man.
I could tell you this though, Chris. What's the what's that new series he's in? Peacemaker? Is that the name of it?
The name escapes me. Yeah,
might be the Peacemaker. Anyway, I just read, bro, that they signed on for a second season.
Oh, okay.
So the first one was a success. Cena's the star of the show. There's going to be season 2. So John Cena is going to be busy. And I got to tell you, man, if I'm John Cena and the first season worked and now we're going into a season 2 and bro, this has the opportunity to be 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons. I mean, this has the opportunity to be a real good gig. and he's had the experience, the last 6 months in the WWE, bro, there's no way I'm extending anything. Like, there is 100%. No way. I literally am counting down the days until this thing is over. I mean, come on, bro. Like, and I think that's where Cena's, head is at. I would just love to know, bro, like, man, if we were a fly on the wall, what really, really, really happened? I don't think John, I don't think The Rock that I knew, okay? I don't think The Rock would make a commitment to John Cena and then The Rock would pull out and bail out on Cena. I don't believe that about Dwayne Johnson, not for a minute. If Dwayne Johnson made a commitment, then he made a commitment. And when you watch that Unreal, he was into it. Rock was into it with the this and the whole 9 yards. We saw he was into it. I was also told this, bro. I was also told by an active person on the roster that Cena is calling all his own shots in this run. I was told that. Cena definitely has final say. So Rock and Cena at one point were on the same page. There's no question about that. Rock committed to that. Something happened. When that something happened and Rock is pulled out of the equation, now they have no idea what to do with John Cena. And what's John Cena doing? He's trying to book himself against the best opponents he can. Brock Lesnar's a good opponent. There's a history. He's probably a huge supporter of AJ Styles. Probably loves AJ because everybody that knows AJ loves AJ. So why wouldn't Cena give, AJ a shot? But man, I would just really love to know, because nobody is going to tell me that freaking The Rock bailed on John Cena. Nobody's going to tell me that.
Makes sense to me. And even with John Cena, even with AJ Styles, there's a history between AJ Styles and John Cena, with the whole SmackDown thing. It was around 2016 or so, nearly 10 years ago. So there's history there too, which prompted Cena, to have that tweet, and that's all it took. And as far as just having a title, having a match between Cena and Styles, so you can tell that he is. Although he said in the tweet, "I don't make my matches," and he said, "Triple H, are you listening?"
That's baloney. That's baloney.
Yeah, and so I do think that with Cena, since you don't have a story, man, it's too late.
It is too late. It is. It's definitely too late. Definitely too late.
So many missed opportunities in this past 10 months, man, with the whole Cena experiment. I think that, him having the last run, kudos to him. He carried WWE in his back for 15 years. I'm all for that, all in support of that. But at the same time, it's like, man, at the end of all of this, are we going to, and that's where recency bias comes in from a psychological standpoint, man. Yes, I know that with time, what's called the primacy effect is going to come in. So we're going to remember, what Cena did for all those years, but there's going to be a stench as far as his brand for a while from this past year. It'll fade out, but as far as this past year is concerned, recency bias is going to kick in. And his last year is going to be basically what we know him by for a little bit, man. So, and I think that's not fair for him and his legacy. But at the same time, it's like this shows, Cena's last run shows where we're at with the overall booking and writing with the company. If you couldn't have if you couldn't have the face of WWE for a decade and a half, have a good farewell tour that meant something other than popcorn matches, and too late storylines and not being able to pull audibles. The audible for The Rock not showing to WrestleMania was just having Travis Scott show up. You know what I mean? That's where we're at right now. That was the audible for The Rock. The audible for The Rock and Travis Scott 6 months later is being decimated by Brock Lesnar and just having a Twitter, booking match against AJ Styles. That's where we're at now. So,
bro, I've said this all along. When the night that Austin won the title, Vince pulled me aside and he said to me, Vince, from this night going forward, your priority is 100% on Austin. Nobody else. Austin, you're with him. You're there 100% of the time. Okay, bro. We saw that with Gewurz and Rock to some extent. There should have been a writer of Cena's choosing. Of Cena's choosing. There should have been a writer with him from day one. Yes. One writer, Cena, and a writer assigned to him that were in charge of plotting this whole thing out. And if something were to go sour, they were in charge of fixing it. That's how important this thing would have been to me. Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt, you would have had one freaking writer on this story working with John. John, what do you want to do? Yep. Who would you like to work with? Okay, let's start mapping this thing out. Yep. That's the way it should have been done, Chris.
100%. Absolutely.